I want to show one of the positions that we frequently see in no matter which form of aerial yoga you see out there, you see this position frequently. And I wanted to sort of point out details that I would point out in an Unnata class and how that applies to your floor practice. You know, why I would do that so that it would apply to your floor practice. So here we go. We're going to work on a back straddle, but we're going to do pigeon pose. Now, I don't know what this shape gets called in other aerial yoga classes because I really haven't taken any, but I know that they do it because you see it everywhere. So it's basically this shape, right? And you know, sometimes people have one leg across, sometimes people do this, but it's essentially this, okay? Sometimes people hold on to the foot and reach back with the leg and whatever. Essentially it's this. And so there's a lot of things you could talk about, but one of the things that we do with the Unnata method is, as I kind of touched on earlier in this session, was using gravity. We're using gravity to help us create the container within which we're exploring. So what that means is that here, of course, gravity is like pulling down on my torso, my head, you know, my arms if I let them go, my rib cage. It's pulling it towards the floor. But as well, this back leg here, gravity is pulling on that too. It's just not as heavy as the rest of my body, right? But it is pulling on that. So what I would encourage in the Unnata class is instead of, you know, trying to make something like an extreme shape of holding the foot or extending through the leg or trying to pull the foot to the head, most of the time what I'm trying to encourage people to do is to try and actually just relax this quad area, or to feel the weight of the foot dropping towards the floor. Or if you are going to use your hand, rather than holding the foot and trying to straighten the leg, hold onto the foot and use your arm to try and pull the foot towards the floor. So you even accentuate that a little bit more, right? So that's gravity, and I'm going with gravity, and I'm using gravity. Now, how that applies to the floor. So we were calling that pigeon pose, right? Calling that pigeon pose because on the floor, pigeon pose is this one, right? And, you know, sometimes people got to stretch for the hip, but essentially pigeon pose, traditionally, Ekapada Rajakapotasana, was always a back bend. And here you are, you know? And now I flipped myself right side up, but I still want to think about that same principles of what gravity was doing for me. So it is like trying to get the chest to rise, yes, but it's also, if I bend that knee, I'm not going to think about using the leg to try and just pull my chest back, because what I want to do is have everything rise, yeah? And I'm not saying it's not valid to do it that way. I'm just giving you like another perspective of how you can practice pigeon pose. So, and in this way, it can help create some space in your spine and help prevent any excessive pressure in the lumbar, which is what most people, you know, if they have discomfort, that's normally where they feel it. So we're going to think about trying to chest up, arm, head up, and foot straight up, not necessarily back, yeah? So as I hold on, I'm using my arm in that way, where I'm using my arm to try and pull the foot up towards the ceiling. And I'm not thinking, oh, I'm going to take my head back. Maybe I'm not that flexible anyway, right? I'm thinking of lifting the crown of the head up and the shoulders and chest up. And maybe after I've done that for several breaths, and I feel that stuff has let go and things have opened up, then I can go ahead and do something that creates more of a circle or activates through the muscles in a slightly different way to go a little deeper into the flexibility. But I first want to establish that spaciousness, that openness.